Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is being filmed on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Angel Number Oracle cards. I just thought it was fitting just because of how many channel numbers we were getting. So it's 7777, change of perspective, reflection, inner strength, wisdom, and enlightenment. There is a need of change or of perception of whatever has taken over you now. So the biggest thing I feel like, again, I feel like the Hermit card, where it's, they have the lantern, you'll get very Odin energy because he has the one eye, or it's like shadowed out. I feel like with that shakeup that we had, if you did have, unfortunately, that experience for the last 2 weeks there where energies were on high, so was anxieties, bringing up a lot of sore truths, but they're like, you're comfortable, we're taking you out of that because you're not going to grow in your comfortability. Like, we've been getting that a lot from a lot of healers saying that where you currently live, your current job, this, not saying to blow up your life, just let it unfold the way that it is, and know that the chaos that is going on and the anxieties and the heavy energy, for myself and whatever works for you, myself was doing meditation. I'm still doing it because a certain situation with a project, it's like, thankfully it didn't come this week because, I needed to recuperate. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful for that energy to recuperate because it was a lot. It gets really heavy. So, when everyone thinks that, you go to the next level and it's all happy rainbows, yeah, a lot of it is because it's also your mindset, waking up with a grateful heart, a grateful mind. But it's also where you put your energies, and unfortunately these portals or these shifts have to happen. All of us talk about the, this great era, but they're like, yeah, you're in the great era, but there's also other things going on. I feel like the universe is just giving us this beautiful break where they're just like, you know what, you've gone through it. Especially, I definitely called for it. I was just like, I'm going through a lot. I don't need this extra anxiety. Like, life be lifing. It's a busy time for work and everything like that. I don't need the extra boohickey that goes, you know what I mean? That's why I don't get involved in none of the gossip and all this other stuff, because it's like, you know what? I got enough to deal with. And I like my peace. So I ain't looking for no disturbances. 7 is also the number of enlightenment. And I feel like because all of us that did go through that leveling up, that purge, that that reset, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean, heading it forward, because we're choosing to move forward, even though it was a battle, like, like mentally, my gosh, the anxiety, whatever resonates with you to ground yourself, definitely do it. But I feel like, when you see 7, it's a number of enlightenment, and I feel like you will get the answers to like why this happened. Thank God for Eye Wisdom on freaking TikTok sharing that knowledge, because it's like, it's nice to have answers. And it's nice to know why these things are happening to us, so we can at least kind of get our head around it and get through it. So I feel like this is supposed to be say action, but 10, 11, sometimes you'll see these kind of numbers. So hope, new beginnings, fresh start, lifestyle. So spiritual awakening, that could be for a lot of people that, like I said, they want to go to the next level of things. But once you open that floodgate, it's like it never stops. Even if you want to stop, you could tell them that you want to stop. So 333. So I know that is guidance from your ancestors and protection from your archangels, loved ones. So that may resonate with you. This is a call to action to move forward, and that's exactly. So instead of drowning, I feel like it kind of looks like a martini glass, but it could also be like sitting on like a crystal. So with us like unpacking that last box, and all my crystals were in it, and it's just like they're nice good pieces of tiger's eye and rose quartz in there, and it's like meditate with those things. Or if you're like myself with gauged ears, and you have the gauges where you can get those kind of crystals. So I've got rose quartz, I've got amethyst, and I also got, I believe I have tiger's eye. I'm not 100% on that one though. But this is a call to move forward. This is a call to, you know what I mean, like, life is not perfect. It's not sunshine and rainbows. Most of the time it is, but there are these kinds of things that happen, or there's this major shift that's happening in life. So like, kids are going to college and stuff like that. It does cause a lot of those emotions and anxieties to surface. So it's grounding yourself and being like, why am I having this reaction? Why am I having these emotions? Why is it affecting me so deeply? Going with it, because we're always so quick to point out everybody else, but it's like checking ourselves on this kind of, cycle that we're going through. And she has a book open, and it's like maybe the Saki records where they talk about, I used to think it was like this knowledge of proverbs and like, allogenic heaven wisdom, and it's like it's actually emotions and energies. And I was like, oh, lessons learned. But haven't we been repeating this over and over again with us, Anastasia? 99. So definitely a major ending happening here. So reflection, completion, and I feel like that's why there's this kind of tornado energy reminds me of the storm warning card in energy oracle cards, where it's saying that the storm is moving forward, like it has already gone through us. So I could see someone with a push broom, and if you ever heard broken glass moving against pavement, that's exactly what I'm hearing. Like, we're now in the cleanup of it. So we're still dealing with it. This is why I keep doing my meditation, because it's just like this affected me deeply, on a deep emotional level, where my anxiety and my, it was bad. So it's just, you know what I mean? But I still kept, even though I was exhausted, I kept pushing forward, because I'm like, this is not going to last forever. You know what I mean? And just keep on doing the things that, I usually do, keep myself grounded, but also knowing that purged a lot of energy out of me. So now I got to recoup my energy. As much as I want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm like, you got to sit there and take care of yourself at the same time, because, you know what I mean? Especially with so many moving pieces and things changing, you know what I mean? I'm not a person for change, but I know sometimes it does benefit our life. And that's why I feel like going to the first card, where it's like kind of hermit energy, where it's like perseverance. We're going to learn why this happened. And you're going to see it and be like, okay, so I had to get real uncomfortable to get comfortable again. Kind of looks like the Ace of Cups. I know that's saying lessons learned and completion, but I definitely feel like where this is spirit offering you this completion, offering you these answers. It could also be spirit protecting you. You see like this portal above their head, so gaining more knowledge with the third eye, but at the same time, it's like protecting you from, because like I said, the adversary, or, don't want to say the name too many times, like Beetlejuice, or other people, monitoring spirits that will try to take advantage of the time of you being depleted and weak, and it's just like, well, I may be vulnerable at this time, but I will still persevere. I've gone through worse than this, by the grace of God, knock on wood, because we don't want, anyone coming in and being like, oh, you think that was the worst of it? We can bring some more in. You know what I mean? So don't let anyone take any, close those, make that a full circle with no harm to none, including yourself. We ain't looking to add more to our experiences. You know what I mean? Especially on those deeper levels. So this time we got 777. So this could, I feel like, jackpot. I feel like, I hear the wheels on the slot machines going. But contentment, prosperity. I feel like contentment is the biggest thing, because that's what a lot of us look for. It's just to be content, to sit there and have peace, to get up and, if I just want to sit around and not have to do anything, that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? And it's understanding that it's like, you've been through a lot. Listen to your higher self. Intuition is going to be really potent at this time. You've been through enough. You've gone through enough. That was a major freaking purge. So allow yourself to rest and recuperate. And, if today you just want to, you know what I mean, sit around in your PJs and recuperate your energy, go for it. You know what I mean? I know most of the time we can't do that. We got to, if you're like myself and you're an adult and got kids, it's like you got to do that thing, but my kids understand when I'm not go. They can tell when I'm trying to accomplish things. I'm like in and out of the house, or I'm like flinging around the house doing things. They know this is, mom's tired, just let her do her thing. So like 11:22, but I feel like it's like supposed to be 11:12. I feel like it's like the next part, like we're at the end of 11, it's supposed to go to 12. So personal growth, spirituality, development, manifesting. So Robbie was like, oh, may all your manifestations be pure and plenty and bountiful. So watching the verbiage we use during these, like we just had the summer solstice. I posted the video, was like how to call that in. Thank you. I'm very thankful for that channel posting that. You know what I mean? Because it's like it resonated with me so deeply. And I feel like that's where, I feel like this is a positive confirmation, as well as that there has been a great shift within you and that you overcame this. So again, it's just, just there's a lot of things that, you hear, like the economy and this and that. It's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving pieces, and it can get overwhelming, but we're doing the best that we can. We just keep pushing forward and putting one foot in front of the other, and that's all we can do. There's, you know what I mean? We can only control the things we can control. And that's one thing we got to understand. Like, we can't control the economy and things happening out in the world. And, it does affect us and our pocketbooks. And it just seems like no matter how many hours you work, you can't get ahead and, try to bring in a life that you're trying to bring in. But, you know what I mean? It's just pace yourself, rest and rejuvenate, make sure you look after yourself, because, you know what I mean? You burn yourself out, you know what I mean? It's going to just exacerbate the situation. Intuition, they're showing the High Priestess. So again, information being known to you, this is happening in the waxing crescent. But, I remember with the numbers with the wands, with our fire signs, 111 is the 3 of Wands. Universe is supporting you. Your ship is about to come in. But moderation and patience is the biggest thing. I feel like this is also like, things that are happening now that universe has been knocking about for weeks before this happened. So, you know what I mean? And it sucks, but it is what it is. I feel like that's what they want to bring in. That's what they're trying to invoke. I feel like this will only be for a certain time periods before things shift, but you know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? It sucks. You know what I mean? But got to push forward. I feel like because channel messages are becoming so potent, dreams, your For You page, whatever way they could find a way to communicate with you, television shows, anything. It's just telling you to keep on keeping on. Again, I know that energies are very heavy and, hopefully you're moving through it and past it and choosing to move forward, but, it will pass. Don't make any hasty decisions at that time. Just do the best you can to push forward. So great positive cards moving forward, and talking about moving forward, 24/24. So leisure, rest, holiday. So you may have holidays coming up, pleasures, love, affection, kindness, happiness. You're worthy of affection. So, you know what I mean? We're busy, we're, chasing our tail, you know what I mean? Maybe a vacation coming up, God bless. And you're able to, take that time without alarm clocks, without having to answer to be somewhere or anything like that. And it's giving you that time that you need to rest and rejuvenate on top of what you're already currently doing. So pushing everything that needs to be a priority to the top. Anything else, it's like, if I get it done, it gets done. If not, then it'll have to wait for a later date. Personal power. Like I tell my children, nobody's coming to rescue us. Nobody is going to work harder and be more dedicated to your life than yourself, besides Yahweh Yeshua. So, 88, very positive sign, infinite symbols. Things will leave our life, but we always are working hard to bring more in. Personal power, you are in charge. This reminds me very much, they're showing like the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, truth coming in, like, you know what I mean? Like, you cannot hide the truth. But I tell my kids, it's like, where you invest your energy into every day is where you're going to see yourself grow. So with my eldest and my youngest, working out and, making that part of their routine, they're working on getting their license and all that good stuff. So it's like, if you put your energy into it, you will see that you'll be successful in it. And other things that you do to fill your day, that is not going to accomplish those things. There's nothing wrong with them. Yes, you enjoy woosah time, watching for your mental health, doing everything you need to do. But, number one is, like I told them, and they know that. They could see by them working out, that routine that they started. It's like, you could see that. How buff they are and everything. It's like, because you put your energy into it. You dedicated yourself. You make it part of your daily life. So where you put your energies into your daily life, this includes your mental health and your well-being. Where you put that positive energy to, I told them, don't. I'm getting the 3 of Wands energy from this one, showing like, Spirit has your back in this journey as you move forward. So positive confirmation of things wrapping up, 999, the World card, balance, financial success. So especially where it's just like, if you're the type of person, so if you're in a single income home and, you got kids and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I feel like even if you have 2 incomes, I feel like everybody's affected by this. I don't know why that moved, but I feel like this is where Spirit is saying, like, that kind of energy. And again, it's like doing the best we can. So releasing that. Ace of Cups, open your hands and receive. Ask them in your prayers, your manifestations. If those resonate with you, whatever you do to call in better situations, better successes, better finances, I feel like it gives you a lot of peace of mind where you don't have those anxieties because you're not having to worry. I bet all of us would love just to walk in the store, buy whatever we want, and not even think about it. Unfortunately, we are in that, stage where we have to count everything because it's just like, everything else costs us that much more. So I feel like it's just, they're telling you how this new journey is starting this break because you keep working for it. You keep putting your energy into it. And that's why I'm saying, like, I know it probably looks like it's easier to give up, but it's just like, we all know that the way that you are, you would not feel comfortable living that way, period. So 222, I believe this is like bringing back in balance. I believe, I can't remember. I know 333 is calling in your ancestors, but I feel like this is like balancing the scale. So what they've been talking about for a while, rest and rejuvenation. It's not, you may have vacation coming up, so that will feel like that, but I feel like there'll be other things going on. Who knows? But just don't even think about that. Just keep it easy peasy lemon squeezy. So connections, friendships. So they are saying that some people may have a soulmate come in. Amberlyn Tarot was saying that someone's going to feel like a soulmate, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be romantic because you're currently in a relationship. It just feels like you've known them forever. So I feel like, things bringing you back in alignment. I love the fact that that looks like a Torah and the Star of David. So, maybe getting back into your spiritual endeavors, maybe what you grew up with, but doing on a sense that resonates with you, not where it's a dictatorship where you have to. We did Sunday school, and then there was a decision made that not to continue with it anymore. Then they just, I kept on doing it. They just gravitated to where I was, and they liked what I did, and they always heard it every night. 63 may be significant. 13 was another one. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you see a lot of these numbers, especially yesterday's video. There's a ton. But coming back into alignment, and this is all what it's about. Bringing back your peace, bringing back your understanding, bringing back what will help you move forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good. Make sure to take time to recharge.